Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the New York State Bridge Authority meeting, November 20th. We have our commissioners here, and I'll introduce them. On my left here is Mr. Rod Dressel. Next to him is Dane Lashua. We have Tara Solomon, Deputy Executive Director. We have our Commissioner, Roger Higgins. We have, I'm not going to announce you yet, but we have our counsel, Carl Whitback. We have our Executive Director, Joe Ruggiero. And we have myself as Chairman, Richard Jerrington. And I think we're rearing to go. First, before we start, we have our minutes from the meeting on October 16th. Everyone read them? Anyone like to make a motion
to adopt the minutes?
Second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have no administration. We have our engineer, Jeff Wright. Mr. Wright.
First up, we've got system-wide salt that we'd like to buy at the 5 facilities under 5 separate purchases, but the total amount would be $39,979.50. This would be off the OGS contract.
Move to buy salt.
Second.
Second.
The price increased dramatically, or?
No, the key here is to buy it before December 31st, when the contract goes out, so that we have enough salt to start the season.
These prices are delivered to the different
Yes, correct.
areas?
Is a lot of this mined out of up in western New York? Do you know? Or?
Couldn't tell you exactly where it's coming from.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next.
Next, system-wide plaza and central server upgrades. There's a total of 14 servers we'd like to have upgraded. This was previously approved by the board at the June meeting in 2014. IBM has since sold their business to Lenovo, so this is now changing over the contract to Lenovo, and actually the price went down slightly.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, Jeff?
Next up, system-wide toll upgrades, specifically toll gates. We're looking to purchase 4 gates for the Newburgh Beacon Bridge to upgrade the gates that are there now. The total price would be $19,084.40.
Move.
So moved.
Second.
Do they have an advertising board?
They have what?
Those get put on the outside of the gate.
Okay. Second.
The question is, do we charge them for it? They have the advertisement there, but do we charge them? Because they probably have their name on the gate.
Do we charge the vendor to advertise their product?
No. On their product,
Yeah.
they have their name on the gate.
Oh.
The advertisement for them. Do we charge them for that
I'm sure
advertisement?
Bellucci's on it.
Jeff, do we have any other prices from any other vendors, or we use this one because it's consistent with the other bridges that we have?
Yeah,
It's all sorts.
All right, any other discussion? If not, roll call. John, please look into that report next week. Thank you.
I can get money out of them. Listen, there's certainly,
Did we have a vote? I'm sorry.
Yes, we
certainly
did.
shows that we're collecting most of our tolls, which is not confirmed.
Some of the vendors don't know they voted. Do we have a recall of the vote? We didn't
Okay, we're
vote.
going to recall the vote, please. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You want to do individual?
Yeah.
Long or short roll? No.
Alphabetical.
Next up is a system-wide street sweeping contract. We've had a contract that expired the end of October 2014. We'd like to extend that for a year. As per the contract, we have the option to extend it for three separate years. The price per day went up slightly from $946 to $986, which was strictly due to an increase in the prevailing wages. So, considering probably a 45 days of service, the total contract would be $44,370.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Last up is a change in the emergency response, one of our emergency responders. Environmental cleanup services, which we have a contract with, has been bought out by Island Pump and Tank Corp. They're retaining their office in Dutchess County, same phone number, they're agreeing to the contract that we have with them. So everything is the same, other than we're now going to be dealing with Island Pump and Tank Corp.
So moved.
Second? No comment, if not, roll call, all in favor, say aye.
Last up, Jobs in Progress monthly report. At the walkway, the navigation light contract has been completed, so all the lights are up and functioning on the walkway for navigation for the boats. The study of the railing anchor bolts has been completed in the field. We're anticipating a report being issued mid-December or so from Majeski and Masters on what they propose for a fix. At the Newburgh Beacon Bridges, the south span deck job replacement continues. We're continuing to work on the northern two lanes. We're just getting into the overhead steel section, so that progress has been quite a bit better than what it was on the south side. The north span painting project is substantially complete. They should be finished by the middle of December. Multi-facility, we had a substructure repairs contract at several of the bridges, and that contract has now been completed also.
Any questions? If not,
So moved.
second?
Second.
If not, all in favor, say aye. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Hello, Brian, how are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good, thanks.
Good afternoon. The first item up would be the monthly investment report for October. There were 5 investments, the routine of the debt service, and then rolling over some funds from maintenance reserve primarily as we finish out the year with the construction projects. Those investments are reflected in the next page in the investment inventory. To note, we still have between maintenance and construction $57 million in funds available for construction projects. As you'll notice, we're quickly burning through the construction fund or the bond proceeds from 2012. We're now expecting to have a little bit left coming into first quarter, but it will really depend upon progress as we go through the winter. Investment yield, due to the short-term time horizon in which we're investing a good portion of our available funds, continues to be very low, along with interest rates that continue at historic lows. Dropped slightly from 0.41 to 0.40 for the month.
Move to accept the investment.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Next up is the budget and financial plan for 2015 through 2018. As required under public authorities law and state finance law, the budget and financial plan for 2015 to 18 is prepared in consistent with the required format. The documents were provided to the Audit and Finance Committee members at the board meeting on September 18th. Both committees approved sending the budget to the full board for approval. As of November 20th, the plan has been available for public inspection and comment at all of our facilities for the 30 days required by the regulation. It has been made available on the authority's website as well. As of this time, there have been no public comments, and no changes have been made to the plan since it was proposed back in September.
Any questions?
Of course, I missed the meeting, but I'm kind of just, if we went to page 1 on the budget plan, I run across with the projections, and I noticed that it jumps from 2017, then it jumps from 10.3 up to 15.1.
For Newburgh by itself, if you look at all of the tolls, they actually increased by approximately 45%. That is as we are going and preparing to increase available funds to take on the project of Newburgh North Span.
In that time period, it's been in the capital plan for years that there would be another major redecking on the north span. In order to achieve that, it would necessitate an adjustment to the toll schedule to bring in the revenue to cover the bonds if the board at that time so inclined to A, do that project, and B, make funds available to do so. So when we adopted our most recent toll structure in 2012, that was effective in 2012, we had projected what the life expectancy of that toll structure would be, and this is still in sync with that. As the board shifts priorities and the needs of the authority and what the capital plan is, it drives obviously when the need would be to have more revenue. So it's one of those things that's been on our M&M reports, and the deck at that point, we do put a lot of maintenance into the deck annually with weather, with a lot of punch screws. So by that time, the deck has really has reached its maximal usable life.
So this is just a very well prepared plan here, and it's a good job, Brian.
Yes, Brian, good job. Thank you very much. We have a motion to move it now.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up will be the quarterly operations report for third quarter 2014. As you will note, through September, traffic is down 0.01%, revenue is up, traffic is up 0.01%, revenue is down 0.02%. We've seen some adjustment to that in October and so far in November as well, so it actually improves a little bit. In terms of expenditures, we're up year over year primarily as a result of two things: salaries and employee health insurance, largely in the area of retiree medical payments, not considering GASB 45. The salary increase is largely attributable to the increases as a result of the settlement of the union contract this year. Additionally, capital improvements are up substantially, as in 2014 we did considerably more work on the two major capital projects, the Newburgh South Span redecking as well as the paint job.
And just as a reminder to the board, because of the lane closures at Newburgh now, the deck project will continue further into the winter season, as it had a shutdown last year, and we're able to now continue construction, so we should still be on target to get our end date of November 2015, but there's not going to be a hard shutdown like there was last winter, unless, I guess, we get Buffalo-like conditions in this area. Then I don't.
This report is for information purposes. There's no action required by the board.
Any other questions? Thank you, Brian.
Next up, Public Authority Cost Recovery Charges. Public Authorities Law Section 2975 allows the Division of Budget to allocate $55 million across the authorities to recover the costs of various government services that the authority benefits from. For the year ending March 31st, 2015, the amount being allocated is $369,000. This is the same amount as prior year.
Move to pay the cost recovery charges.
Second. Before we go any further, can you just state some of those items that we would benefit from?
OGS?
Will benefit,
Well,
but we're regarded to pay.
Mr.
Civil
Bush, you have to
service,
look at that.
trash
I believe that would be a good project for Mr. Belushi to look into.
Who said he had no word against us?
Next meeting?
A visit from the MTA Financial Division.
Some gravy on the potatoes up there in Albany.
All right.
That might
I
be
like
most
that.
accurate.
I think Mr. Dressel said it all.
Yes, he did. All right, we have to vote on this. All in favor, say aye. Pending the report, right?
Yeah, right.
Pending the report?
Yes.
We don't have to, you could hold off a month payment.
We'll deal with it.
Brian, last one?
Okay, the last item up is the annual billing from the New York State Employees Retirement System. On a brighter note, this is the first year in several years that our bill has actually declined. Okay, we will be paying, pending the board's approval, $1.9 million in the earlier date. We typically pay at December 15th as opposed to waiting and paying the higher number.
Move to pay the retirement system bill.
Second. Just Brian, and just figuring it out with the amount of employees that we do have, which is 161, according to your memo here. That's about 11,600 per employee, 11,600 per employee per year.
Well, it really, if you look at the attached schedule that I go and show on the second page, or on the back of the first, I'm sorry, we have two-sided, you'll notice that it varies by tier significantly. The rates per dollar of salaries paid changes over time. You'll notice that in 2014, we still had employees under Tier 2. We no longer have any. We're declining in the number of employees in Tier 3. Tier 4 is still relatively high on 5 and 6. Those are 5 will, I believe, not grow anymore, but 6 we expect to grow. The rates declined substantially. Obviously, Tier 2, when we were paying 26.2% in 14, that drops a lot. While you could average it across the entire employee population, it's skewed toward the earlier tiers.
Right, and it's also based on the employee's earnings, and some employees who are part-time have the option not to enroll in the retirement system at all. Full-time ones are mandatory. And so it's a factor of the tier and the salary of the individual.
Any other questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. Next, Human Resources, Information Technology.
We're good.
Bridge operations, none.
We're good.
Reports to the board.
One report, you may have seen the news release we sent, not news release, internal kudos we sent out. We had 2 casual toll collectors that we honored a few weeks ago. We gave a letter of commendation to casual toll collector Holly Morinsky and Crystal Paul. These 2 women risked their lives in saving a distressed individual who was threatening to jump off one of the bridges. One of the toll collectors had overheard a scuffle between this individual and his partner, and she sprung into action and actually physically helped restrain this person while 911 was being called, and the other casual toll collector was observing, and on the video monitor called the command center, and then she jumped in her vehicle and also assisted until a state trooper came. All women involved in saving, and this female state trooper, we're dubbing Wonder Woman, came and resolved the situation for everyone. But these 2 acted so heroically that Tara and I and John and Wayne went down to the bridge and gave them letters of commendation that are in their personnel file, and both of them have aspirations to go into law enforcement and other. So this is good. It was just a really highlight moment. I saw your email back about what they did, and it was appreciated. So it was really good, and we really highlighted them to all the other staff, and it was a good day here. As far as my reports to the board, I have no expenses to report. We do have your revenue and traffic report analysis and the Easy Pass report. Easy Pass sales are declining as they did a year ago. Program to date, we've sold over 17,300 Easy Pass tags, a little over 6,700 this year. As Brian mentioned in his report, for revenue year to date, as of last year, we're pretty much on par in terms of revenue. Traffic is slightly down. Where we're seeing the traffic decrease mostly is in commercial traffic. So, as far as revenue, hopefully we'll get through November and December holding our own and meeting our revenue target number. And that's all I had to report on revenue and traffic. Try to modify the program we've instilled at the bridges is picked up over $322,000 since activated earlier this year, which helps bring in that revenue number. As you remember, the program helps adjust, and the correct tag is going through the lane and counts the axle, so that's been a positive cash flow for the agency here. And we have an item under attorney-client I would need to speak to the board about.
I would anticipate with the price of fuel going down, I'll wait and see if we don't have a little increase in some activity of traffic.
It could be why we saw some better numbers for the most fall numbers that we have, you know.
You take people that commute, boy, all of a sudden, they've got $10, $20, $30 more a week in their pocket now than when they were paying $3.70 a gallon.
Yeah, they're probably paying their credit card bills for the gas they've incurred with it, you know.
I'm sure a lot of factors, such as, it's been a great fall, a lot of tourists have come through their area regarding self-pick, farming of various natures, and that's been up tremendously too, so.
We get all
hopefully
going
it
to New
continues.
Paltz to pick apples.
They're giving them away.
That's right.
They must have, because the way the traffic was backed up on the thruway.
But also too, we also had a bond rating that Mr. Bellucci, we had a great rating from our rating company that, Joe, you want to say?
Yep, S&P reaffirmed our rating, which is great. It's the second highest rating an entity like ours can get, and it reflects the good fiscal position the authority is in, and they perceive it as a stable entity, which is great news. And if and when we do ever have to go back out for another bond in the next several years, that is something that plays well into that. And also, next Thursday of Thanksgiving is the 90th anniversary of the Bear Mountain Bridge. We're going to be putting up some banners up on the bridge to designate this year as the Bear Mountain year with our Bridge Authority, and we're going to be rolling out other commemorative things to celebrate not only the 90th anniversary of the Bear Mountain Bridge. As you see behind us, we have put up a kiosk, a traveling kiosk for our traveling museum. We'll be announcing the Hudson Valley Bridge Museum that some of us have been working on. I know Commissioner Lash was on the committee, and Carl. And we'll be coming out with some other announcements throughout the year promoting the cultural awareness of the Bridge Authority, as well as the significant and the economic role it does in the Hudson Valley and this region of the country, actually. So, happy birthday, Bear Mountain Bridge.
Yes.
Here, here.
I talked to Tara a little bit about it, but is there any gathering planned at the Bear Mountain Bridge?
We were in the process of planning it, and one of the special guests we wanted to come is out of the country. So we were planning to do that. And so when we're looking to have a more formal kickoff of the Hudson Valley Bridge Museum and announcing some other commemorative things we want to do, we were hoping we could do it at that point in time.
We just want to be sure we don't miss the century.
Yeah,
We have you on the planning committee. I'm sure we'll be on time for that.
exactly.
Yeah.
But Tara did bring to our attention, all the,
Yep.
these displays here, it's a great job. And like you said, happy birthday to the Bear Mountain Bridge. John, you're bringing a turkey down there, right?
Yes, I'm doing that.
Seriously,
Anything else?
Is anybody going to go down for the day or the?
Thanksgiving Day?
No, but we are going to get it all dressed up
We're doing this.
so that people
It's
will
gonna be ready.
recognize it's a
We're doing a
big
press
birthday.
release next week. There's already been some stories. The press is a little bit ahead of us on what our timing was for press stories. But the bridge will be properly appointed with the celebratory banners and everything. And then we're going to have a more, like I said, formal rollout of Bear Mountain Bridge commemorative items going throughout the year and promoting the Hudson Valley Bridge Museum.
Yeah.
One of the things we're going to be doing is installing interpretive signs on all our bridges throughout the next year, which then kind of tells parts of the story that you see along this backdrop.
Any other questions? Any new business, old business? If not, we can't adjourn. We're going to have any action?
No action answered.
So we're going to make an adjournment, and we're just going to attorney-client.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Before we leave, next meeting is December 18th, 2014, at 3 o'clock, for regular time. In the meantime, have a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy. Thank you.